Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening from wherever you are in the world. I was about to fix a thing that didn't need fixing. You join me, Ike Sky, at one of the most impressive and quintessential tracks on the calendar and in any game. It sits alongside the Nürburgring Nordschleife as one of those go-to destinations for any race fans, and tonight the International Sim Drivers Association plays host at Bathurst. We are here at Mount Panorama in the southeast of Australia. You'll have to forgive the shaky camera for a second. The poor drone that's holding this camera is not doing too well. We're in the final throes of the final practice session before these drivers will go into their 20-minute qualifying session. And what can we say about this track? Well, let's not talk about the track for now. Let's have a look firstly at the calendar. This is round 3 of 7 that we have to look forward to, with the Nürburgring, the GT track, unfortunately not the full Nürburgring, Monza having been already run. This is Bathurst here tonight as the session gets underway, and our camera car suddenly flies out of the pit lane, as all of these drivers will, trying to merge themselves into one another. We have the Assetto Maru car as the camera car for the time being. This is going to be an interesting exit, I think. 20 minutes to get around the Bathurst circuit, so I think it's pretty fair to say that there will be some reasonably hot laps going on at some point or another. Let's get to the higher cameras for a second. So yes, this round at Bathurst, the same hour on the grass, the same hour format that we have grown used to now. Next session will be Alton Park, one of my local circuits, and a very, very good circuit at that. Hello there, Ivan. Yep, good luck to yourselves and anyone you're supporting as well. This is going to be a ridiculous race. I'm looking forward to it immensely. Round 5 will be from the Belgian circuit of Zolder. Kyalami follows then with a very low chance of rain, thank goodness. And finally, a 2-hour special at Spa-Francorchamps. Again, in Belgium. It's Belgian, isn't it? I'm having a moment. Good evening, Steve. Good to see you in chat as well. Hopefully all of the guys will have nice, clean laps. They're only on their warm-up laps for the time being. While they're doing that, let us have a quick look through the championship standings. Romano Berenic leads the pro category with Nidazak in the 89, who was not too sure about the Mount Panorama circuit. Lukas Rossipal, there we go, has been promoted from the AM category to 3rd in the pro category. I'm sure the points will give that tale away, inserting himself, terribly almost, in front of Dan Minton in the 75 car, who will be looking to make an impression on the podium tonight for a fact. That is your first page of Pro Class. We'll have a look at the second. These are all set generally by... Damn it, Alex. These are generally set by lap times, but they have obviously had to have adjustments made based on the driving that we have been seeing. Barnabas Concoli leads the AM class in the 51 Mercedes, and a couple of points behind is Wazinski in the 51 Ferrari. 2 51 cars, that won't get confusing at all. Kozchek in the 88 Audi then follows up a trio of Audis in Eugene and Billswater, with the rest of the AM cars filtering through there. Now on to the format for tonight. As this is the mountain, there has been a couple of adjustments made, and something that hopefully we will have our lead steward in for the combox come the end of qualifying to have a very quick chat. We have a few penalties being handed out for the drama, shall we say, last time out at Monza, where there was an absolutely wonderful car accident. I won't make you live through that, but there is a video somewhere on the internet of that full incident from one standpoint, and it's fantastic to see. No, it's not. It's, if you like crashing, it's good. There we go. That's the easiest way of putting it. Our drivers coming around for their opening salvo of laps. Maru in the AM class is not all that, but here we go. It was a bit of a meme accident, I'll tell you what. I wonder if... I don't think I can... No, I don't. I won't do that. I won't distract from the driving. And look, Krisnick is running a bronze liveried Porsche. That's very, very tasty. I like that a lot. Interestingly, we've already got a yellow. And the 130 car. Where or who is the 130? Well, I don't see... I hear a car. Yeah, that's the 33 spot on the outside. The 130 is still parked. Nope, there it is. Back to the pit lane. Krasnick. Ah, I see. So opening salvos coming in. The AM cars... Rossi Powell is an interesting one. I don't know how he got into the AM class and performed so well. Oh, big off for the number 3. That's interesting. I wonder why people are teleporting back to the pits. 89 coming around. Nida Zach's gone round in a 202. 202.3 is a pretty hot pace for Nida Zach in the Zach Speed car. Someone needs to make him a decent livery, I think. Because running around in that stock McLaren one is not befitting of someone running second in the championship. Down Conrod straight he comes. The one moment of this track that the drivers get to breathe is the long run up towards the mountain on the way back down. Yeah, I wonder why people are teleporting back to the pits, because it doesn't... In some games, it makes sense. In Assetto Corsa Competizione, the track rubbers in the more you drive around. Even on this fast setting, it's just going to get faster as the session rolls on. So it doesn't make sense if you haven't damaged the car. I'm waiting for similar. I've got to admit, I am waiting for that 201. And do you know what? I think I see that as the 806. Kawai Kawasaki. Ah, no, it's not Kawasaki. Where's that Nissan badge? Otto Winkler, there we go, 16th position. Up the mountain he climbs. I don't know how many people remember the 2016, I think it was, drive from another Japanese driver at the end of the Bathurst 12 hour to take this very model of car to the top of the podium in the final dying moments of the race. Absolutely astonishing scenes this track has brought, and we're hoping for more tonight. Now, as stated, there is a couple of procedural changes tonight. Because of the nature of the circuit, there will be yellow flags in Sector 2, so the mountain section of Bathurst for the first 2 laps. Imagine like DRS. It makes sense when you think of the type of racing that we're doing here. All of the cars' balance of performance to the hilt. Zach is still fastest, but has not been setting the charts alight that well. Ollie Charles has one of the sectors and Berenich with the other, but enough to keep him in the lead for the time being. A few drivers not even setting a time yet. What else? Who else do we have? Berenich all the way down in 20th position. So what has happened there? Oravec is outperforming his teammate in 4th, and Minton is in 6th in one of the Aston Martins. Go Pindrick, Go 22 says Ivan. Good to see support in the chat for the specific drivers. It's great to see people watching at them as they're going around live. I dare say, we do have our race director join us in the comm box. I happen to be looking over there. Good evening, Mally. How are you doing?
Doing fine.
Excellent.
Doing fine. Excited for this race. It's a challenging one. A lot of cars on track, but we hope to iron out the difficulties of the start here. Mm-hmm. You know, it's a very narrow track and a very challenging one, so anything can be, anything is possible here, and I hope that we don't get in a situation to have a major crash or pile up or something like that.
Of course. Well, we do have, I have explained the first 2 laps, there will be essentially a static yellow flag through Sector 2, so the mountain section of the track, to hopefully avoid those turn 1 or those first lap altercations. I know the thinking behind that, but to hear it from the horse's mouth, I take it there was a good reason for that.
Well, first of all, thank you for calling me a horse. Second of all, we want to get rid of any dangerous or aggressive driving on top of the hill, because it's very narrow. There are not a lot of places to pass, so we don't want any drivers to feel intimidated, which could result in them spinning out or impacting a wall, which then results in a major pile-up behind them. So to avoid this, to avoid any carnage, we have decided to make it a full yellow flag, starting from turn 2 and up until turn 18. That's the downhill hairpin. Mm-hmm. And we will definitely be looking out for any drivers that would infringe the yellow flags.
Of course. And the other thing that I wanted to get you in for is we all saw the accident at Monza, and there's a number of penalties. When I saw the message, I was shocked at how many penalties were handed out. Talk us through the general thinking behind those penalties.
Yeah, well, we tend and we like to drop the hammer, that's definitely sure. The thinking behind this is that we want to get rid of dangerous driving and too aggressive driving, because we all know you can't win in lap 1, and we definitely saw major carnage happening at Monza just because one driver decided to keep full throttle until as he was traveling over grass with all 4 wheels of the track. So that ended with major damage to, 15 cars, 20 cars. We were actually on the verge to restart the race, but we thought that applying these very strict penalties and very harsh ones will hopefully get some heads down, and that we'll finally have some cleaner driving. The penalties we are applying are not for the ones who caused the incident. Mm-hmm. That was already processed in the last race, and the driver was immediately found guilty and got a penalty. But what we looked at is the driver's behavior under yellow flag and under white flags. So basically, we had a lot of drivers that didn't even consider the yellow flag until it was too late. So yeah, hopefully this will help them out, because we have very fast drivers, we have fierce drivers, which is great to see, and we have great battles all over the track. But sometimes we need to take the foot off the throttle and just make it safe for everyone involved.
Of course, of course. we've had 15 of the 20 minutes. Have you seen the top of the timesheets out of interest?
Oh. Hot damn.
I think
no,
that
I have to screenshot this.
That two lap yellow flag is suddenly making a whole lot more sense. It really is. I'll let you get back to race control. Thank you very much, Mali Baucho, for dropping in. It's great to be in a combox with you once again, even if it is only for a couple of minutes.
Yeah, great to be with you as well. Just to let you know, those penalties from Monza will be applied at the start of the race, so there will be around 5, 6, 7 cars that will serve a stop and go or a drive-through at the start.
I was going to say, do they have the normal 3 laps for it?
Yep, they will.
That's going to be an enormous penalty. Oh, man. Okay.
Well, the pit lane is a bit short here, and given the fact that we will have those yellow flags on the hill, I think it's fairly a cheap penalty, let's call it that way.
Yeah. Other than the ones that are stationary. Anyway, I'll let you get back to race control. Thank you so much for dropping in. I really appreciate it. It's great to hear from the people who are actually making the decisions. To my mind, it means that the drivers know and those viewing know that you mean it. You want clean racing. We want to see responsible driving and close racing. 600ths of a second now for the 806 of Kawai Kawasaki. This race is going to be absolutely mental. It's going to be crazy. I wish you the best of luck, Mali. I really do.
Thanks. You too. I hope you enjoyed the show.
Oh, I will. I really will. Catch you in a bit, man.
Catch you. Bye-bye.
And with that, 4 minutes 15 remaining. And oh no. Oh dear. Berenich leads the way in the number 8 Porsche from next to nowhere. He must have been listening to the stream. Borovec is now 1 second off the pace. Very easy to do in these circumstances, but tying with the 99 Audi. We know the Audi R8 loves this place, and you can see from some of the previous circuits how... Yeah, he's up in the 201s. You can see how the Audis are featuring so much higher up the grid. I'll tell you what, is there actually any Audis any further down? Because I'm just going to go slightly further down the field. Eugene is going 7/10 faster at the moment, and 7/10, if he can pull, oh man, if he can get a tow from this Aston Martin down the Conrad Straight, this could do even more wonders for him in that underpowered Audi. He's currently 8/10 up, but the field is so close that 8/10 could get him into the top 20 if he was very, very lucky. Absolutely astoundingly close field here, and that 515 is looking really good. An Assetto Corsa Competizione livery, if ever I did see one. He's now an entire second from where he was before. Eugene in the 515 coming down towards the final corner, Murray's corner. Will drift to the outside, up behind the Aston Martin. Hopefully the 833 won't get in his way, and he does a little bit, the tiniest bit, but up to 23rd goes the Audi, who will run wide and then retire back to the pits again. People are, I think, running around with just enough fuel to do 3 laps and then going back in. The 51 car of Concoli is going 4/10 quicker as it stands, which is enough, incredibly, to get him to, let's say, 7th or 8th. If he can keep it together. The track is getting quicker, and with 1 minute 50 remaining, there is probably a lap or 2 left. Third goes the 51. Third goes the 51 Mercedes, and the first of the AM class. I have a feeling that Concoli is going to have serious issues with being promoted after this race, if that showing is anything to go by. Either that or he's just having a very, very good race. Along with him as well, actually in the 7th position, Kawai Kawasaki is also doing well. So this track, oh man, it is giving us a show before the race has even begun. What else? There's a lot of people in the pits, and I worry that this is about all we're going to see. Minton down in 9th position has just started a lap, so this will be his final lap. Let's ride on board with him. And the 75 Aston Martin. So Quarry Bend is where the yellow flag is going to start tomorrow. So get your passes done on Mountain Straight, and then all fall into line for the first 2 laps up towards the cutting now. You hold it in 2nd or 3rd if you're really brave. I think that was a high 2nd gear. And now up through Griffin's Mount, Reed Park, and then Suleiman Park, that wall on the outside waiting, begging you to push just a little bit too close, and then over the top towards McPhillamy Park. Flat. Oh, it's so close. Then over Skyline and fall off the edge of the world. Down as fast as you can say it. Through the S's, through the dipper, back onto the throttle, pound up through the gears in this Aston Martin GT3 car. Down again into the brakes, 2nd, sometimes 1st gear for the Aston Martin through Forest Elbow and out onto Conrod Straight. The breather that the drivers get in qualifying is not going to be any kind of rest in the straight, because you are going to see, well, you can see by the gaps, the drivers are going to be nose to tail and trying to draft every ounce that they can to try and make positions up. Brake at the 100 meter marker. Someone's taken out the 50 marker just in case for the chase. And get back on the throttle down to Murray's Corner. Pit entry is on the left-hand side, as close as you dare to the grass on the outside, up over the curbs. Nice and brave for Dan Minton. He won't be going much quicker, but will start the race later on. A mere 11th on the grid. Concoli, perhaps the man of the hour at the moment, with that ridiculous lap. Oh, what else have we got? Kuchar is going to come across the line 6/10 faster at the moment. Keeps it all together on the exit of Murray's and goes 3rd. Lexus to 3rd at the mountain. Benson's still out on track. It looks like we are about there, other than Krisnick, who is, retiring back to the pits. And that is the end of the session. Wow. What a ridiculous race. Qualifying. That was just qualifying. We now have an hour's race and, 5 minutes, thank goodness, to get through this enormous grid. Let me get the correct window up, and there we go. So, leading the drivers away will be Romano Berenic for the 3rd time Vasking, I do believe. Diego Zamora will be alongside, with Kuchar forming the 2nd row of the grid. 4th will be Barnabas Concoli in the 1st of the AM cars, which is a ridiculous performance as well, with Nida Zak being demoted from 2nd in the previous races all the way to 5th in this race in that McLaren 720S. The 66 of Langdijk will start in 6th place, so 3 6s for bad luck and all that. The 806 of Kawai Kawasaki will start in 7th position. 8th will be Philip Borvek, Berenic's teammate. The 99 of Josep Brulas will start in 9th position. It's all about the number symmetry tonight, that's weird. Matej Miksik will start the 96 in 10th place, and 11th will be Lukas Rossipal, now in the Pro class in the Bentley, if I remember correctly. Yeah, he's in a Bentley. Cool. Dan Minton demoted from the higher echelons of the top 10 to 12th to start this race, and Asura Maru will start the 404 from 13th. 14th will be Dejan Jokic, And 15th will be Mattia Silvia. Alex Dumanesco will start the number 6 car in 16th, and Ollie Charles will start the 5 in 17th. Otto Winkler in that Nissan GTR will start 18th. Igor Krisnik will start the number 3 car in 19th. 20th will be George Hemming. 21st will be Reikisnik. 22nd will be Herbo Pindrik. Dakuza will start the number 80 car in 23rd. Claudio Voodoo will start his McLaren in 24th. 25th will be Dan Babic in the 101. The 515 will be Kukulov Eugene. The 23 car starts 27th in the form of Mike Wazinski. Stephen Carey starts the number 1 car in 28th. 29th will be Zvonimir Burek. Greg Smith, these names are great. 30th will be Greg Smith. 31st will be Sanal Tadic. Andrew Brooker will start the 130 in 32nd. 33rd will be Teo Smolik. Lord Nem will start the 666 in 34th. All these numbers are a thing. 35th will be Ricardo Maya. The 331 of Art Harweck will start in 36th. 37th will be Stephen Beswick. Premek Kirkner will start the 777 in 38th. 39th will be Dan Smith. 40th will be Vanya Madrusan, and 41st, and bringing up the rear, will be David Dunster. That is your grid, and my voice is going just reading off all of those names. We thankfully have a bit of time to appreciate the ridiculousness of this circuit. Unfortunately, I just have to break all immersion and do... Oh, no, I've gone somewhere completely different. Where on earth is a track now? And we'll stick to there. Apparently I was going too quickly. There we go. There are your cars. Pirate Racing leading the way from the line. They will be doing their full form-up lap, and as the drive-throughs come through, here you will start to see the penalties for that Monza incident. So Burlas and Krisnik with the drive-throughs. I have a feeling we have a couple of stop-go penalties to come as well. The drive-through for Brooker, drive-through for Madrusan. There will be stop-go 20s and stop-go 30s coming in this grid, I have noticed. So let me see if I can get to that penalty chat. Where was it? Race control, I think it was. So car 46, drive-through. Car 13, time penalty of 10 seconds. Car 27, stop and go 20. Car 99 will have a drive-through. Car 132 will have a stop and go 30 seconds. The 132 car. 130 will have a drive-through. Car number 3 will have a drive-through. A time penalty of 15 seconds for the 33. And the car 88 has been given a warning. The drivers move away for their warm-up lap. A rolling start and lights on. A rolling start is not going to be the simplest of issues, as I'm sure you can appreciate. If we go to the back of the field... Have they even left? Oh, they have left. This is the start line. There's every possibility that there may be drivers coming around the last corner as the lights go green. So this is definitely something that they will have to be paying attention to. Drivers will be trying to make moves before the line, and I'm sure with that those two laps of yellow flag up across the mountain. Oh man, my PC does not like this. All of those light sources were a little bit much. So everybody in chat, how are you finding this ISDA Championship, as I have probably the last drink that I'm going to be able to have for the next hour as we watch Andrzej Kutscha follow around in 3rd position, taking that Lexus to an incredible 3rd position late in the session in qualifying. Hopefully we won't have any issues with collisions on the warm-up lap. I know I've done that before. Great to see Big Dog is enjoying their first time here. Ivan, I 100% get more hot black. I know it's just an hour and I'm out of hot black currant. The 6 hours of Kailami did that to me. I need to go get milk as well, so that's also on the shopping list along with a few other things. Shout outs to my teammates that have jumped in chat as well. Thank you very much. No, I can't. Are you kidding? Have you seen some of these names? I can't do beer right now. I need to be as sober as possible, otherwise I'm going to slur these names. But yeah, Ivan's pretty right. Night at Bathurst is a killer, but I absolutely love it. Shout out to Steve Minton as well, supporting his son or dad, I can't quite remember, mate. Sorry. Dan sounds younger and Steve sounds older, but I could be entirely wrong. I'm glad you're chill. I hope that I can add to that chill over the next hour. No, I absolutely love Bathurst at night. I can't put into words just how good this track is. Falcon, there is, for the first 2 laps, there will be yellow flags and no overtaking over the mountain section. That is something that's been put in place by the organisers to hopefully prevent a pile-up. As we actually saw at Monza, I tell you what, I can... Because you have DM privilege, let me just show you a very quick... where was it? That one. As the drivers form up 2 by 2, I am praying for the start of this race. I really am. Yes, yellow flags. Yellow flags means there are opportunities ahead. What it means, and I haven't even gone through the strategy of this yet because I don't want to give the drivers any ideas. What it means is the launch out of Forest Elbow is possibly the most important thing these drivers will do over the first 2 laps. There is so much space to be made up with a good exit onto Conrad Straight and in through the chase. The lights go green and away Berenic goes. We have eyes on the Kuchar car at the moment. In through turn 1, Zach is making moves. There is a Porsche in the background out-braking himself and being very brave. We've had another big incident. Good grief. That's what happens when you put 42 cars on the mountain. That was a crash we will look back at later on in proceedings. At the top of the timesheets, the drivers go into the mountain at Quarry Bend for the first time, and this is where the yellow flag's in effect. Now, this is very interesting because a driver could very easily get in front on the straights and be able to control from the front and maybe push a gap to the rest of the car. Don't worry about the timing, the driver tower, by the way. It is going to go crazy just for a couple of minutes while it works itself out. I wish I could put into words how annoying this is. Over Skyline for the first time go the leaders and into the dipper. What an incredible shot. It never gets boring. And here, overtaking is once again allowed. Now, Porsche versus Audi. Porsche and Audi are both very down on top speed when it comes to... very out of balance of performance when it comes to top speed. Now, which one of them has the better of the 2 BOPs? The Zamora car is closing in on the Porsche. Is it possible that the 77 Audi hasn't quite run out of gears as quickly as Romano Berenic in front? Good to hear. Great to hear. So again, great to see family in the chat supporting friends and family. And across the line for the first time of asking, the gap is half a second. Zamora very patient with that Audi, and I can't believe he's keeping it in a straight line. There are more drive-thrus coming through the grid, and drive-through. And drive-thrus have been assessed for some further down the grid in the form of Madrusan and Brooker as well. Sparks for the Langdyke car. How is Zamora? No, he's all good. Ross Powell has remained quite consistent there. The two leaders are... Oh, that was a nudge against the wall for the Porsche. Just in case you thought Berenich wasn't pushing. Minton got a drive-through. I must have just missed that. I assume there is a reason for that. Ah, much older brother. I see. So a couple of weeks then. Much older. Where are the gaps? Where are the lack of gaps in this field? Neither Zach currently stuck behind two Mercedes. The 806 of Kawasaki has had a brilliant start to make it all the way up to 4th position. Big old wiggle from Concoli, I think that was. It was in the 51 AM class leader. And under pressure now from Kawai Kawasaki as well. Could this be some inter-team fighting on the way between the two Mercedes? Hours older, that's the one, yeah. Much older is definitely ours. Down towards Murray's Bend. Now for the second time. Oh, the two Weeb cars. They are the two Weeb cars. Excellent. Langdyke has dropped to 40th, probably because of a drive-through. There were several drive-throughs that needed to be served because of the previous incident. The incident at Monza. Side by side, the Mercedes come up Mountain Straight. There is you have never seen so much anime on a racetrack in one place. Kawai Kawasaki takes 3rd position from Concoli, and now, just in time, he makes that position change for the yellow flag zone. This is the last time the yellow flags will be in operation. So that cushion that Kawasaki now has over Nida Zach, he can make very good use of over the mountain. Looking a little bit more shipshape than the Porsche that we saw in the lead. Oh, the McLaren behind is getting eager. He wants to make the pass. He wants to have a look. But there's nothing happening at the moment. I don't want to break away from this, but at some point we are going to have to look at that start towards the back of the grid. Down the hill they come. Now this is going to be... Does Concoli defend his position? He's not in a fight with Nida Zach here. And he's not in a fight with anybody all the way back to the 404 car of Maru. But at the same time, he's got a cushion of 4 cars between himself and his next competitor at the moment. That is a good advantage to have in the early stages of this hour-long race. The attack wasn't made there. I can imagine the position may change quite early on here. What else is going on down the field? GTR on the defensive against a Lexus. Where did the Lexus go? I think there was the Lexus went for a drive-through. He was the leader of the penalty, those needed to take a penalty. GTR is stalwart against the 25 Lexus at the moment. There's a marker board off on the inside, exhaust glowing in the early morning light. I love this time of day. I really do. Let's very quickly go to replay if the game is not going to lag. Yep, DRS has been enabled. No, it's not enabled, but the yellow flag zone over the mountain is now lifted. So that means we're going to see side-by-side action through McPhillamy. Right through McPhillamy. The drive-through for Minton, I can't give you at the moment. Give me a second. Nope. Right, this is important. So this is turn 1. Here we go. It's somehow fallen to a reasonable place. So the lights will have gone green quite recently. Where has this gone wrong? There. So it was the Marlboro car of Stephen Carey that got turned. And get on the throttle. Audi checks up. Oh, it was a check-up from the Audi that caused the Porsche to get loose. And that was where the mess came from. That's terrible. It could have been a jump start. I'll tell you what, I'll jump to Minton. Where is he? Here we go. Did he get a jump start? You're looking at that 75 yellow and green Aston Martin. Ooh, maybe. That Audi is a long way back, though. I could imagine that he's been given a drive-through for a jump start, but what choice did he have? He was in the queue. The Audi was nowhere. Oh, man. Yeah, no, it may have been from the previous race. It could have been from the previous race. I'm not willing to rule that out. But Otto Winkler still on the defensive, but now the yellow flag's been lifted. The Lexus is looking to the outside of the 35 car. Not able to make any progress as yet. Rossi Powell is the best. Is coming in chat. Whoa, big old tap from the Audi behind. That was Reikesnik in the 83. That wall is not a wall that forgives lightly, and a big old switch again from the number 2. Plus 5 seconds added to Smith's race time at the moment. He will be able to... That's a fair point. Sorry, I've pushed buttons. There we go. And I have multiple distractions going on at the moment. Top of the timesheets, Concoli has been demoted to 6th position. Obviously that doesn't matter in the AM class at all, but that does release the Mercedes and McLarens to go piling after the rest, who have opened up a 13-second gap. My goodness. Now here's a difficult one. So Borovic will not want. Oh, as Nida goes very, very wide. The 720S will have the advantage down the straights, but the problem is he keeps running wide. He keeps getting too aggressive and trying to maximize the speed out the corners, and he can't get to his VMAX to get the pass done on that Porsche. Can he get it done on the way back down Comrade Straight? It's possible. And with the braking of the McLaren being on par with it's possible. But Zach is currently in a very difficult position behind Borovic. And I've lost a web page. Damn it. I've lost a web page as well. That's terrible. Down through Forest Elbow comes Zach and Borovic, and that gap is opening. I mean, it will do. Zach's best opportunity will be at the end of Mountain Straight. So where he went wide at Hell Corner on the previous lap, He needs to get that right, get the drive off the corner, and then get that pass done to Borovec if he's going to make any progress up towards the rest of the cars. I thoroughly believe that... where's the gap to Kawasaki there? 15 seconds, so those two are off in the distance and gone. And there is now, unfortunately, almost a safety gap for... There we go, that's a better fit. That's a better drive off the corner. I wonder how much downforce that Porsche is running. What else is going on down the field? It's so difficult in these early stages to work out where's best to look. Concoli, having been demoted to 6th on the road. Lexus has passed the Nissan. And the Audi's gone past as well. Thank you for seeing that. I wonder if that was... It's going to lag, I'm very sorry. I don't know why it does this. He's already passed, so this must have been... They've passed him over the mountain as well. Oh my goodness. And there's nothing I can do. There's nothing I can do in this replay mode. It's completely pointless. I don't know why I used it. But all we are seeing is actually he's going to be under pressure from the Mercedes of Dinamesco quite soon as well. Actually, do we have 3 anime cars? I think that's 3 anime cars we have in the field now. Because that, to me... Yeah, that looks very much like an anime car as we go back to live, but, you know, not directly back to live. That would be silly. We have a 3rd anime car. Thank you. Oh my goodness. And this is a teammate. There we go. There's a teammate of Kawasaki, I think. Nope. It is the other Mercedes Concoli. Smith with a penalty. We haven't got any other penalties at the moment, do we? Unfortunately, you're seeing all the information we have. Unfortunately. Let's do this properly. And actually get to the right replay. There's the 35 car. There's the 35 car. So... I don't know why this is so terrible. Yes, Langadike. So, 35 car is there. It was under pressure. This has happened a while ago, I think. Yeah, this has happened a while ago. Here we go. So, coming down Comrade Straight, and this is going to be a fairly textbook pass, I could believe. 25 to the inside, 35 goes around the outside. Oh, there was no space given for the Nissan, and it was almost an opportunity for the 0-2 to get it done round the outside. So all in all, fairly close. But... the Nissan having the position lost will have to try and fight another day. Oh, with such a big field, it's terrible trying to keep track of who is who and where. Top of the field looks fairly spread out according to what I'm seeing here. There is what I can see is a fight. Yeah, for some unknown reason, my microphone has decided that it was going to turn down. In software as well. It wasn't me. Oh, it's probably because I was being too loud. Thank you very much. I didn't realise that it had automatic noise gating. Oh, that's a spin! Who is that that's gone round? That is the Porsche of Nem! Oh, man. And the dipper, that is not where you want to be going around. It's the benefit of sim racing is you do have a reset button. I feel as though that's going to be a fairly simple spin on his own. We'll go to replay to make 100% sure. But I hate this game. I really, really hate this game. Right. That was the 666 car. Which I'll need to find. There we go. And it's the most recent lap coming up over the hill. Oh, it's going to be on his own. He's all on his own. Comes over Skyline. Oh, he's not looking too safe already. Gets a massive kick on the bump through the S's and gets parked in the worst possible place. Will slam it in reverse, try and do a J-turn. It's not going to happen through there, my friend. The road is nowhere near wide enough for that. I don't know why that transition didn't work, but that's fine. That's a lot of damage on the 666 car. And he takes off to the gravel on the inside and avoided. I mean, it was considerate, but not quite as considerate as it could have been. Borovec still in front of the 89 of the Zach Speed McLaren somehow. Somehow that Porsche has fended off the attentions of the McLaren for another lap, and I am I don't understand. I'm at a loss for words as to why and how that Porsche remains in front of the much quicker in a straight line McLaren. I'm here for it though. It may just be 100%. No. It was actually, it wasn't induced understeer, it was oversteer. He was on, I don't know if it came through on the stream, but he was on opposite lock, coming through the S's. And could this be the move? No. Just, oh, it's going to be contact for the 24 and the 806. The 806 gets going, and the 24 just outbraked himself massively. He's going to get it rolling again. There we go. Good to see. But neither Zach. That's what pressure does. That's what pressure does when a driver's not quite ready for it. And now neither Zach has a 21.908 second gap to make it to Zamora. The McLaren can do it. Neither Zach, I have every faith, can do it. It's just whether he can pull it all together. There is going to be rear diffuser on that 806 Mercedes, which is going to be slowing it down in the corners and not doing it any favours in the straights as well. 111 Bentley is going to come alongside, and the 404 of Maru as well has... Concoli's dropped away as well. All these positions changing. I can well imagine... Oh, man. So Kawasaki under pressure from Rossipal at the moment. Let's do this corner before due to the crash. Oh, right, okay. Land on the inside curb. We jammed it into those. Yes, I agree with you, Tomo. Over the mountain, this 806 Mercedes, all the Mercedes in reality seem just so sorted compared to some of the other cars. Even that Bentley, which is known for being an absolute sofa of a racing car. The Mercedes just seems to have the legs through those medium high-speed corners, through the Suleiman and McPhillimies, and can just hold it a little bit tighter under full throttle. Out onto Conrad Straight again. Leading a train of 4 cars. 3 of these are off a position, 1 not so much. As we found out last week, there's nothing to stop an AM car from taking the overall win. Further down the field, we come to the Bentley 22 purple car. I know a car, a driver that'd like that. Of Hervo Pindrick being chased by now the Porsche. That's interesting. Of Mixic, there we go, who has just gained a position over the mountain from Claudio Voodoo and looking to do the same again on that big Bentley. And there is a 515 Eugene, who I have a feeling may have been the checkup which caused that incident on the start line. Pit window is now open with 35 minutes to go, and two of the drivers already taking to the pits to get their pit stop out the way. Ollie Charles dropping in as well. Aubergine Bentley boy, yes. Yeah, I recently discovered as well that we have this camera mode, which I think is a little bit too quick at the moment. Yeah, let's say that's a little bit too fast. Try this again. There we go. But we can now get these kind of ridiculous, intense shots of the cars as they drive around. As somehow the drone flies through trees and keeps up with a GT3 car. Absolutely brilliant. And this Bentley, when it's under full chat, climbing up the mountain sounds second to none. So, pit stops for Ollie Charles, Concoli, Rakisnik, Borovec, Duminesco, and Voodoo to get out of that traffic. Oh, yellow flag. Who's that? That's one of the anime cars. That is the 806 Kawai Kawasaki, who was under pressure. I wonder... Minton may be flying, but he's... Oh, man. That was very, very sketchy. Let's see how that happened. As the game decides it's just going to collapse on me, as usual. I need like 2 instances of the game running. So the 806 is who we're looking for. Very, very recent. So we see the entry. Oh no! After saying how comfortable that Mercedes is, let me get it. As he goes through the dipper, front left comes off the ground. He gets the tiniest kick of oversteer, and these walls are not forgiving. Absolutely nothing Kawasaki could do there. He was an absolute passenger as soon as the wheels broke traction there. Monitor turned off in the middle of the race. Seriously? Oh, that's terrible, Bolas. As in, what kind of turn off? Have a look. This is where the... What's going on here? Baranich into the pits. The number 8 car into the pits. Zamora is going to take the lead of the race, unless, of course, he's into the pits as well. So everybody now jumping into the pit box. Minton is still yet to take his stop, but if he can do some hot laps, which I'm pretty sure he is, I wonder if he's going to leave it right to the very last minute. We saw this strategy work for him in the last race at Monza, if I remember correctly, and this was a big part of his strategy. Hemming is pressuring Brooker in the AM class. Pindrick and Eugene are leading there as well. Murray is the first of the pitters in the AM class, with Minton 17 seconds ahead. I hope he does another... I'll tell you what, if he does another lap, I will take you through a race lap with probably the fastest man on circuit right now. He is on par with his best, which is a 2:03.6. And Ollie Charles on fresh rubber for comparison is about to do the same thing. He's going to circulate for another lap. Let's take you on board for a lap of Mount Panorama for this hour race of International Sim Drivers Association. First corner, square left-hander through Hell Corner is the name that you need to remember. So many incidents we've seen at every state of the race, and the first breather that the drivers will get, believe me, they only get 2. This is Mountain Straight, and out on his own, Minton can have a sigh of relief, but if you're in traffic, the slipstream has a big effect on the brakes down to second gear. I was going to say third seems more appropriate, but on those slightly worn tyres through Quarry Bend. Now up through the cutting, hold the throttle as long as you dare, tamp on the brakes if you've got the car stable enough to do so. Up for the cutting, now up through Griffin's Mount. Keep changing up through the gears, little lift of the throttle to settle the car before the left-right of Reed Park. Now through the dip at Suleiman and the wall on the outside that has claimed so many cars. Now through McPhillamy Park, we've seen an Audi parked on the wall on the outside of this corner. Then over Skyline, the car goes light, your stomach's in your mouth for a second, and then on the brakes as you fall off the edge of the world, through the dipper, and down, back on the throttle, shaving as close to the walls as you dare for Forest Elbow. Down the inside for Minton, you can actually go around the outside and maximise your straight line speed down on to Conrod Straight. Again, in traffic, this is a nightmare for a leading car. Having to manage the line and make sure that the cars around you don't get the wrong idea of where you're going. Run wide across the grate at the kink, and then on the brake, second gear for the chase. The chicane added for safety purposes, of course, under the Liquimolly Bridge, and down to Murray's Corner for the final corner. Thank you very much, Mr. Minton, for that excellent lap of Bathurst circuit. And of course, a British Racing Green Aston Martin. I mean, where can you go wrong? Battles happening on track at the moment are going to be intercepted somewhat by the current state of the pit stops. Minton and Silver, it seems, are the only drivers going for this late pit stop strategy, but it is working. It's working for Minton at the moment. He's got the air to be able to make it work. There's traffic up ahead, but that's going to be a lap down by the looks of it. No, that is the 77 car of Zamora, 15 seconds up the road, with Nida Zak as well. This isn't going to be life-changing for Minton as far as his position is concerned, but it is going to be a big bump up the field for that 75 Aston Martin. We'll keep an eye out for when the driver goes into the pit. Yeah, the HSR skin is much better. Definitely. But I mean, British Racing Green with the yellow stripe up the centre. Yeah, cool. Besides, Assetto Corsa Competizione doesn't have anywhere near as many cool effects as R-Factor 2 has. That 404 car is looking hungry for a position, I've got to admit. Rossipal, having been promoted to the Pro class, under pressure from the AM class 404 Porsche, which is just astoundingly quick over the top of the mountain. Let's have a look. That's not very good information there. There's no good information. The only way I can get fastest laps is by escaping to the pits, and I know I can get back. Yeah, screw it. Very quickly, let's have a look at the full timetables. Nope, that doesn't give us it either. Qualifying gets it, practice gets it, but that doesn't. Cool, great. Thanks, ACC. Tom-shaped dent in the front bumper. I don't think... Yeah, not the front bumper, the rear bumper, sure. Support for Alex, I think it is, Brooker, in that 21st position. Very good for the 130 Porsche. Andrew Brooker, sorry. That bright yellow car. Ooh. I'm not going to lie. That was a sharp intake of breath. Brooker is running very, very close to the walls there. That is a lot more bravery than we've seen from a few of the drivers. 14th position. Come on. Give me. As they come across the line. Get off. And up Conrod Straight. Mercedes v Porsche. This should be a fairly... Actually, that Porsche is as quick as the Mercedes in a straight line. It is Borovec as well. As Dan Minton apparently comes across the line. Minton... I do wish this broadcasting tool worked properly. Is that Minton... Has Minton pitted? Minton's dropping to 18th at the moment. But he's out back out play. 18th position. Now comes the real comeback drive with the pit window now closed. Oof, that's another touch against the wall at Griffin's Mount. That's not the place to do it. It really isn't. Or is that considered Reed? No, I think it's actually Reed. It's Reed Park there. That's where the right-hand kink is. And over Skyline comes Minton all on his own. In a distinct change of fortunes. Actually, what is going on here? No, Rossi Powell is way out. This is lapped cars. Minton, if he is going to get his way up the field, his fastest lap is a 2:03.6. The leaders are doing 2 minutes and 2s. 0.1 for the leader, 0.6 for Zamora. Yep. Great strategy once again from Dan to leapfrog 4 cars in the pits. Thank you for that information. Again, I've only got one set of eyes. I'm not able to see absolutely everything going on. But this battle is not for position. This battle, however, is for position. Miksic has taken the Mercedes of Jokic at turn 1 at Hell Corner. So really good work there by the 24 Porsche. I'm trying to get philosophical, but it's super hard with all this action on track. And with the timing screens updating about now. Come on, there we go. It's Borovec that's gone down. And is that damage? That is damage for the 24 Porsche. So what has happened for him to be demoted that quickly? Only one way to find out. Come on. Yes, half of this stream is literally me saying come on to Assetto Corsa. Why? Borovec is the man we are looking for. Is that on the grass? No. No, that's into the Audi cutting. Okay. Oh, no. So, out of... Okay, I need to... That was an incident and a half. Okay, right. What's happened here? Up on the chopper cam, the 515 Audi has got all sorts of loose and taken out the 24, and I think that's the 14 in the background? That is the 74, nearly. So, a heartbreak for one half of Pirate Racing as a slide from the 515, who was demoted even further in that AM car. And now under pressure. No, he's not under pressure from that 57 car. The 57 car is way further down. Okay. A really unfortunate incident for the Porsche there. Concoli is getting... Do you know what? The people have started lapping a lot quicker than I was expecting. And suddenly, the gaps are starting to open up, which is frustrating. But nothing we can really do about it. Where are the battles on track? Is this Ricardo Meyer for... You can see the name of that team. I am not attempting to pronounce it because I'll only do it harm. But that is just lapped traffic. Borovec is still being tailed by the 57. I can only assume that 24 car has an immense amount of damage that's ruining its aero package over the mountain. And as I now have to rely on the split times because none of the per car Rospal on the podium. I could don't have the I've at the top of the timesheet, so we'll look at him very briefly and see. The gap was 5 seconds through sector 1. Through the first split of the lap, it's still 5 seconds. It's possible, but unlikely. Let's say for Lucas Rossipal, yes. Also, we've got a Dave Grohl in the chat. Cool. I loved your album. Don't ask which album, because the answer's all of them. Orbach in 17th was apparently 2/10 behind the 74 AMG last sector. Now, where has that... Oh, it's Jogic in the pits. That's interesting. What's Jokic doing back there? That's pit for damage. So while the 24 car is going to soldier on, the 74... Yeah, pretty much. I kind of... Yeah. I love how... So, out of interest, who is supporting specific drivers here and put them all in chat? Let's get some hype going for your drivers. I just want to see what the cross-section is, because I'm kind of... There's a few names coming through on a regular basis. I'm just interested to see what's occurring. Now, Pendrick now closing in, it seems, on the 75 of Minton. Oh, no, that was a position change. That's been a position change a while ago for Minton, now up to 14th. That's not going to be the biggest points, but it is points. And remember, too, that some of the cars above, specifically the 404, the 51, and the 25, and the 6, are not counted towards that position. The sky with blackcurrant. Yeah, I know, right? I'm going to go get a cup of tea after this is done. Fortunately, there's only 16 minutes remaining. Unfortunately, I don't have an assistant to go and get me blackcurrant. So Minton now with a 4.3 second gap to the 96 of Miksic, which is a pass for position and will up his points haul. So he's very much in the top 10 in his class by now. Across the split comes Minton now. 4.2, so it's a 10th of a second in the first sector. Now, how does he compare to the Porsche over the mountain? This is the question. I'm just jumping on board because I really like this view. I have absolutely no reason to be here. As the sunrise is blinding for the drivers as they come through the hardest section of the track No wonder this track has such a legendary status, when not only do you have to navigate roads tighter than Monaco for comparison, you have to do it with the sun blaring in your eyes. That's terrible. Coming through the second sector as they come towards the chase. He will lose time over the top of the mountain. It does look good. It really does look very, very good. But I do think that he has clear air between himself and the 96 at least. The 96, meanwhile, putting pressure on the 728, or trying to put pressure on the 728 and succeeding, it looks like. As they come across the line, the gap remains 0.8 of a second. But that is going to be a tempting prospect of 12th position overall for Miksic in the Porsche. Unfortunately, at the head of the field, the gaps really do seem to be quite large. However, the 5 Aston Martin of Ollie Charles is looking to make inroads into the second lead of Rossipal. Losing time over the top of the mountain, it looks like. Oh, big old slide for Voodoo. And that is going to be the pass made nice and easy for Miksic. Just in case you thought that... Oh, yeah, what's going on here then? There's an Audi, that is a lapped Audi, I would suggest. There's none around them at the moment. Or a lapping Audi. Borovic running around with damage, and it is lapping, you can see the blue flags. But what can you do over the mountain? You can't just pull over and stop. It looked like Borovic was pulling in on the back of the 101 Porsche, but with the car in between taking what was left of the aero off the front end of that Porsche, it's very difficult to see how... as a drive-through has been assessed to Borovic. I wonder if there is a... Nope. There has been nothing in the race control chat, which is what I'm relying on to receive the updates as far as that's concerned. In 25th position, Maya looked like they were putting pressure on the 84 Porsche. That seems to have fallen away now with being lapped by the 10th place car. Minton still has closed in a bit, I think. 1.6 seconds. Yeah, now that Maya's he's getting blue flagged out of the way. It's very... Ooh, that was a knock. Ollie Charles, I think Rossipal has kind of resigned himself to that 4th position, with Zach making hay up ahead. Zach was 2 seconds faster than Rossipal on that previous lap alone. Meanwhile, Silver is going a little faster in 7th position, but everybody is a little bit spread out now. The problem is... Oh, we've lost Stephen Carey as well, I think. Is that the 84 getting out of the way? That'll be getting out of the way of the Bentley, the 22 Bentley of Pindrick. I'm not seeing where Tadic is. Have we lost a Tadic? Tadic, who was really close up behind, seems to have jumped out of the way of a train of cars. Either that, or there's been some kind of contact for that 84 Porsche. This is where it gets very difficult to see. Minton has closed right up to the back of Voodoo now. Which of these straight line beasts is going to be the beastiest, the McLaren or the Aston Martin? With the Mercedes V8 in the front, twin turbo too, if I remember correctly. I know one man that will definitely know what that GT3 is running. Look up the inside for the 75, but it's not going to be happening into Quarry. Maybe at the cutting, it would be a very deep dive for Minton there, though. Yeah, twin turbo V8. There you go. That's how you build an engine. Yep. Borrow it from Mercedes and then put two turbos on it. Or as we say in Britain, take someone else. Ah, oh, big knock. Big knock for the 75. On the outside. That alignment is not going to be factory fresh anymore. Still able to draw in. Oh, the old V12s were exquisite, yes, 100%. Totally agree. Actually might be viable in this form of racing as well. Where the fuel isn't quite so necessary. Oh, of course. Go on then, Andy. What is the best exhaust note in this current GT3 crop of cars? 75 up in the draft, looks to go to the inside through the kink, can't make it happen. Primarily, I imagine, because there is a McLaren in front of Voodoo. No, it's a Lambo? I thought I saw Lambo lights there. It is a Lambo who's getting out of the way now, so up Mountain Straight, is this going to be the opportunity that Minton needs to use the McLaren in front to punch a hole through the air, get the draft and the overspeed, and McLaren's already moving to block. But up Mountain Straight they come, down through the dip, and on the brakes, is it going to happen? Not yet, it's not. Yeah, Bentley or AMG, 100%. Oh yeah, we do have AMGs being competitive as well. Speaking of competitive, once again we go to the lower half of the top 10 to find that we have Ollie Charles with the tiniest of, slightly more of a gap now, 8 seconds, with the 33 of silver right up underneath in that what has been termed Williams liveried Aston Martin, which is a weird one to say, and the 404 of Maru not far behind. So Concoli has been able to get back the positions that he lost early in the race, and I'm sure he's quite keen to keep that pro car behind him as a safety cushion from the 404, and Hemming only a few seconds behind as well. This could all change in the final minutes. Not to mention too, Berenic and Zamora are running around on their own, but that doesn't mean... Oh, what is that? Who was that just spooned off the inside? Oh, I know who that was. That was Dunamescu, the other unknown racing team car, who is partner to the 51, and I'm sure just felt the pressure of his teammate coming up behind him and didn't want to get in the way and just kind of got a little bit too far out of the way. The gap's gone out to 8.8 of a second, with Maru falling all the way back to 2 seconds. That's ridiculous to lose that much time. So that fight that was slowly building is going to die away. And as I was trying to get to the cameras, because the broadcasting tool is about as responsive as a turbocharged car, come on. There we go. I know where it's going to come. I know what's happening here. Oh, the McLaren got wide. The McLaren got off on the grass on the outside. Didn't even have time to get across before Minton was alongside. Gets on the brakes through Hell Corner. The 728 went super wide to give the 75 space. Good clean racing, but the pass was well and truly done even before turn 1 in reality. So a brilliant pass for position there. And Krisnik up behind Otto Winkler. For the moment, I saw maybe the 5-on-5 that's lost positions there. But the Skyline not getting... the GTR, sorry, it's not the Skyline apparently. Not getting the drive off the corner that one would hope. The number 3 Porsche pulls out to get alongside, but I don't think it's got the straight line speed to do it. The Nissan's going to hold the inside through Quarry. Porsche's going to get an armful of oversteer on the marbles on the outside, and that attack has been thwarted for the time being by Winkler. Patient, professional driving once again. Dumanesco in that Mercedes, which purposefully or not, we're not too sure, circulating with Borovec in the pits as well. That damage finally getting too much. Here's an angle that you don't get to see of the spares box dipper all that often. What's weird is all of those corners have no names. The next corner that's named is Forest Elbow there. Falcon, you are so patient. You make... what has gone on here? Someone has exploded their car. What on earth happened there? I see Dakuza in the pits. That could have been involved in that Jaguar. I don't want to do this. It's 3 minutes remaining in the race. I don't want to do this, but I kind of have to. Lexus has severe damage. Okay. I want to know what all of that stuff on the floor was. So will they drive through it? Not by the looks of it. No, no. Perhaps somewhere around here? That's a very, very slow McLaren that we're looking at. Oh, Aston's going to go to the inside and get the pass done just fine. Where on earth did that damage come from? How strange. There's Minton. Minton's made the place. Where is Minton at the moment? Minton up to 11th overall. And Concoli doing a brilliant job as well, keeping that 33 Aston between himself and the next AM car. All the rest of the drivers, it seems, other than this fight between Winkler and Krisnik, which keeps on closing up and opening up as they go across varying stages of the lap. With 1 minute and 12 seconds left, there's not a whole lot more that we can see happening. At the moment, anyway. Rookery is half a second off in 16th. Apparently. Or was. With this first position, the Porsche has the draft of the Skyline. Now, how brave will Krisnik be in towing up to the back of the GTR. Can it tow up to the back of the GTR? There's a wiggle going for the Porsche, but this is where the Porsche is strongest. It requires a brave car and a braver driver to overtake across the mountain, but sometimes that's not the game that's needed to play. Sometimes it's just pressure as we go for the white flag. Where is the race leader? Let's see, there's a number of cars in the pits, my goodness. As the number 8 car, yep, we have come to the checkered flag. There we go, we just came to the checkered flag just then. Berenic will lead the race, Dan's in the pits, yep. Babic will come across the line, we'll give it half a second. To complete, but Berenic will win this one again. Zamora ended up being a 22 seconds in arrears in that 77 Audi. A fantastic finish for Zamora though. Rochepal is only 8/10 behind Nida Zak. Been creeping up on that McLaren. I have a feeling that McLaren is carrying damage for some reason or another. Is just going to run out of time to fight for the podium. And Ollie Charles will be a mere 4 seconds behind in the BDX Racing Aston Martin. Concoli will be the winner of the AM Drivers. Silva will come home in the 33 in 7th. Maro will take 2nd in the AM class. Donuts from the 51, thank you very much, Concoli, and the 35 is doing some for us as well. Great show. Not great to see post-race crashes, but Rekosnik will come across the line in the 2. Miksik will just cross the line. Beautiful spin by the 51 there. There you go, that's how you do it. Just park in between 3 cars. Miksik in 96. Pindrick still out on track for the 3rd position in that 22 car in the AM class. Babic will come home in the 101 in 11th. Voodoo will fend off the attentions. Will just miss out to the 101 in 12th. 13th will be Andrew Brooker. 14th will be Joe Kick. Otto Winkler will drag that GTR kicking and screaming home in 15th. 16th will be Krisnich, Dunamesco in 17th, 18th will be Hemming, 19th will be Tadic, and now we get proper donuts. There we go. So, 23rd, let's go down to the lower half of this timing screens. People are already leaving. Why we like this. Bezwich. There we go. Yeah, we're already losing cars from the server, so unfortunately we're going to have to wait till it resets, and hopefully it'll give us the final standings. Harwick in 21st, 22nd will be Bezic, Borovec, Burek, Nem, Kuchar, Smolik, Dunster and Madrusan will round out the drivers who have at least stuck around. Plus 130 seconds for Beswick, it seems. I wonder what that is for. Let's return to the garage, look at the timetables, and that gives us even less information. Damn it. Cool, okay. Yep, that's not going to be any more information. Warning for car 24 for causing a collision. I think that's about it. Rossipal saying he almost had the McLaren. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Into between cars 24, 78, and 130 will be reviewed after the race. 15-second penalty for 777 causing a collision. 515 got a 15-second penalty for causing a collision. 5 seconds for car 74 for a dangerous rejoin. You can see on your screen all of the issues there. This is going to be a very long time. Hang on, now Borovec hasn't finished then. That's odd. Madrusen as well, with a disconnect it looks like. Yeah, plus 24 laps. So, we have, thank goodness, our recently promoted and just missing out on a podium. We invite Lucas Rossipal to the Combox. Hello there, mate. How on earth are you doing? What a race. What a drive.
Thank you. I mean, yeah, I'm pretty happy about that one, even though it was pretty close for the podium at the end. Zach had some damage from some back marker. And yeah, I mean, I think I've had a pretty good race pace, definitely much better than my qualifying pace. Because in quali, everything that could go wrong went wrong. First off, I had bad pressures on the tires. And then on like 3 different laps, 3 different people crashed in front of me in the mountain section.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Sorry, there's chat going on everywhere. Apparently there's been some interesting driving. So just missing out on a penalty, but so you've been promoted to the pro class. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I wanted to be promoted to the pro class after Nürburgring, but yeah, Nürburgring wasn't a good race for me. But yeah, it is what I wanted. So,
yeah, of course.
Feels pretty good.
Excellent. Well, there's two schools of thought. Either people who want to be fighting against people who are competitive with them, and other people who just want to win. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
So it's great that you're of the former. If that makes sense, it's always good to have people to race against. But you showed your class today. Dragged that Bentley up almost to the podium. Another lap. What do you think you needed? A lap or 2 on the end?
A corner. One corner was.
One corner.
And that would be it. I mean, I was right on Zach's back. You know, probably if I did a better lap, I would have overtaken Zach. But on the other hand, I would have felt a little bit bad for him because apparently he had incident with back markers. I don't think it was his fault, even though I didn't see it. Because it looked like there were 2 back markers fighting, so I think he was just caught in a bad situation. So I'm not too mad, honestly. I was not even expecting such a good result because I did my first lap ever on this track 3 days ago, so that's pretty good.
No, that's an astounding. So how are you liking Bathurst now that you've had some time with it?
Honestly, not so much.
Okay.
I mean, I do like the uphill part of the mountain section, and I like the first sector.
Mm-hmm.
I like the turn to the right-hander. That is amazing corner.
Yep.
But the downhill section, that is a pain. I think especially in the Bentley because it's such an understeered car. So especially the turn, the left-hander when you get on the straight. The last turn of the mountain section, that is literally the worst corner on this track, and I struggle there a lot.
Yeah. No, I love it, and I hate driving this track, and it is in equal measure. You love it because you hate it.
I mean, yes, it is a love-hate relationship.
It really is. It really is. Almost abusive, but it's the track that fights back as much as you fight it.
Yep.
Brilliant. So next time out, you're coming to my hometown, Alton Park. Next time out.
Well, amazing track. I mean, I did few laps there, but I absolutely love it. I would describe it as a Monaco with grass.
I was going to say it has been called Mini Nürburgring before.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I think Monaco is a better description.
Yeah, that's fair. I see that. I think it's a little bit too high speed for Monaco.
Yeah, definitely. But the amount of overtaking opportunities, I think, is same. The width of the track, I think, is also similar. But yeah, the last corner, I think, of Alton Park is the best overtaking opportunity.
You'd be surprised. You'd be surprised. But I'm going to leave that surprise to you and let you find out all of the passing opportunities that there are when we return next week.
Okay.
At the same time. It's great to speak to you, Lukasz. Have a wonderful evening. Thank you very much for the tip on how to pronounce your name as well.
Yeah, no worries. And thank you too. Have a nice day.
Have a lovely one, mate. See you later. We will now speak to our third place driver. This is a worrying trend, not in the right direction for neither Zach.
Hey, hello.
How's it going? That was a challenging race by all accounts.
Yeah.
Talk us through it. How you didn't get too much camera time because you had, after that initial fight and getting past the AM car, you were kind of out on your own.
Yeah, it was a hard race, to be honest. My race, the win was out of my hand since qualifying. Because the exactly same time that P1 did, the Porsche 201.1. I did it twice or 3 times in the practice sessions these days. When I saw the traffic, I couldn't improve my lap times.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I started P4, I think.
Mhm.
And then was disappointed about my qualifying. I did a bad start. I lost 2 positions. And, yeah, anyway, I recovered to P3. But, it's not an easy track to overtake.
No. Well, it's not an easy track generally, and when you're out on your own like that, you kind of need... You need to have people to work together with to get around this track if you need to make up time, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
You need to use
exactly.
like the horsepower of the 2 cars plus drafting and that sort of thing to pull yourselves up. Having an impromptu pact between 2 or more cars to get forward. You really didn't have that, and it was, as you said, just a fairly lonely race. And this is why qualifying is important, especially in these hour sprint races. You have to be so careful with how you place your car and where you pull out and find where the gaps are in the traffic. And on a track like this, there's never enough space.
Never, because the pace is different between some other cars. You may calculate the distance, but after few corners, you see yourself blocked behind someone, and it's only 20 minutes.
Yeah.
So, and 36 car, I think, or 42, I don't know how much.
It was 42 today, I think.
Yeah, 42. So, you can imagine 42 in everybody trying to find a gap to do his qualifying.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I was playing on qualifying only because I knew this track. If you have a good position at the start, especially with that new rule, the blue yellow flag in the 2 first laps.
Yep.
So if you start P1, you are safe at least 2 laps.
Mm-hmm.
Because in the straight you can't be overtaken in the straight. But the sector 2, the high hill, the twisty track,
The mountain, yeah.
and you are safe there for 2 laps. So I was telling myself I need to do at least P2 to start a good race for winning. But I messed up the qualifying, and now the Porsche is pulling away in the championship points.
Yeah. But the thing is there's still time left in the championship to make a difference. So absolutely don't discount yourself. Maybe in the interim time, maybe just have a look at your qualifying strategies and see if you can try and do some like simple AI races or something like that, and try and find gaps in the traffic that way.
Exactly. Yeah,
So
I need to work on it.
it's one of the most underrated things of racing. No one really focuses on it because it's just doing a hot lap, isn't it? But in a track, as you said it yourself, we've got 40 drivers taking part in this race. 40 drivers on. I mean, Bathurst is a reasonably big track, but it's always going to be difficult to find a place.
Yeah,
But
especially the speeds, the pace between
yes,
all of, it's not balanced. I can say it's not well balanced because we are 14 and pro and EM in the one race, and sometimes you find the pace 2 seconds or 3 seconds between someone in front of you, and you can easily catch the 2 seconds in less than one lap. Uh, it's important. I will focus on this qualifying.
yeah,
I don't know if you see the last lap. I was almost losing my P3 because
yeah. I saw that.
Bentley was closing on you on me.
What was that about? Did you have damage?
Yeah, I spun. It was a back marker blocking the sector 2. It was in the middle of the track.
The chicane.
Yeah, the chicane,
As
the
you come
double chicane, the
downhill.
downhill.
Yeah.
So I didn't touch him, but I lost focus there because I went to first gear, and I normally don't do first gear in that downhill twisty. So the first gear, the car was very aggressive on the throttling, and I spun.
Yep.
Touched the wall. I had like 15-second damage, and I heard that the is in the last lap. The P1 was the last lap, so I had only one lap to finish the race.
Yep.
And the Bentley was coming for me like a bullet. He was gaining 1 second per corner, maybe.
Oh man, you had that much damage. Wow.
Yeah, I was very, very high damage. It was 8 seconds, and he got 8 seconds in one lap. It was very tight.
So another lap, and you really would have lost that.
Yeah, for sure. I may lost two position in one more lap because I was very slow.
Well,
anyway,
you managed to salvage a third position from a very unfortunate race.
Yeah, and I must say I'm happy with P3.
100%. No, you're a very quick driver, and I think you're starting to be a little bit unlucky with how the cards are falling. So I think you were setting the timing screens on fire in the early rounds of the championship. So there's absolutely nothing taken away from your actual talent. It's just maybe the more thinking man's parts that you need to work on now. Like I say, just strategy and things like that maybe aren't quite as obvious. But it's good. It's good that you've got something obvious to work on. If that makes sense.
Yeah, exactly. After this, I will start tomorrow again to practice. I practice every day to have this win. I got it. I will work for it. So
I'm sure.
Wish me good luck.
Oh, absolutely. No, best of luck to you. I'm sure by the end of the season we will see you on the top step of the podium, and I cannot wait to speak to you when you get there. It's been a pleasure, as always, speaking to you, Zach.
Thank you, and thank you for commentating like usual.
It was a lot more difficult. It was a lot more difficult tonight than it was at Monza. I tell you that, because at Monza there's not much of a pace difference. Here there was a significant pace difference, and I have a feeling because of how set up heavy Alton Park is going to be. That may be.
Alton Park is it's not a long track, so it would be hard again.
It depends if we're using the Grand Prix loop or not. If we're using the Grand Prix loop, it is definitely easy enough to get some space.
We'll see. Yeah,
it should be okay. If we're using the short track, then I agree with you. You've got no chance. It's going to be a nightmare.
Yeah, exactly. I think it will be a wet track, I think.
It says 90% chance of rain, yes.
So
I mean,
yes.
it's Britain, so it's a 90% chance of rain, so it'll probably be blazing sunshine the entire time.
I don't know.
That's
so
what That's just what Britain's like. If they tell you it's going to rain, it's going to be blazing sunshine. You almost guarantee it. We had snow yesterday.
Yeah, so
So we really are all over the place when it comes to the weather. You have a lovely rest of your evening, Zach.
thank you
and
again.
Look forward to seeing you next
See you
time
next
out.
week. Exactly. Yeah.
See
See
you
you. Good
then.
night. Goodbye.
And with that complete, I will put you back to the main screen very quickly. You can see that the track is empty. The night has rolled around. And there is only time for me to say thank you very much, everyone, for watching. Get subscribed, like the video if you enjoyed what you saw. And it's been a pleasure commentating for you all. And I will see you all next time at Alton Park.
Johnny, the guys were starting